The Mustang was leaking oil and it was burning up in the exhaust. I could smell it from the cabin, mainly because the rubber boot on the shifter was broken. So I had a suspicion it was transmission fluid. Got under the car, looked around, cleaned it up a bit, and it seems like it was around the mounting face of this output speed sensor. Um, it was soaked with oil, which shouldn't be. And right below it, of course, there's oil all over the transmission and the crossbar. And I suspect that this O-ring, it's either incorrect or the wrong size. So I went over to this is what the O-ring looks like. It's pretty thin. The O-ring groove, or the O-ring gland, which is the center one here, where the O-ring goes. It measures about 0.8 inches, which is roughly around 20.2 millimeters. So I went ahead and went to Harbor Freight, got myself an O-ring, metric O-ring set. They do carry a 20 millimeter O-ring, but I tried it on and it seemed like the O-ring, at least on the once installed on the OD, seems kind of big. So I went down to a 1/16. Now the 1/16 stretches out a bit more than the 210 would, but at least, you know, if it stretches, it's gonna provide a pretty good seal on the gland. And it's thick enough, it's actually thicker than this one, that it may provide a good seal on the outside. So let's I'll show you how it looks like. So this is what the O-ring that it had on there, this is what it looks like. And like I said, it looks like it was leaking from around this interface, because this whole flange and right down the transmission, it looked like it was leaking. So this is how the O-ring looks like on the OD once installed. Let me put on the other O-ring. This is what the other O-ring looks like. Definitely a lot thicker. So I'll install it onto the sensor. And this is what it looks like installed. So there's definitely a lot more on the OD, it being a thicker O-ring. So this one measures 19.8 millimeters on the ID. The gland itself, like I said, measures 20.2, so there's definitely enough stretch to ensure that it's sealing. And the OD looks like there's going to be enough for it to seal around the walls of the bore where this sensor goes in. So I just need to go ahead and reinstall it, and hopefully that takes care of the leak that I'm having. Okay, so here I am under the car. There's the shift boot. There's the bore where the sensor goes in. There's the oil leak that I had coming down on the crossbar. And that, of course, I'm not sure how extensive this oil leak was or how bad it was, but definitely this was getting on the exhaust. And of course, like I mentioned, the fact that it's right underneath the the shifter and not having a good seal. Oh man, this is really crappy, but I think you guys understand. There's a shifter. Anyways, I want to install the sensor. You know, how's the new O-ring? Hopefully my light doesn't go away. Hopefully the O-ring is not. Hopefully the O-ring. What was I saying? Ah. Well, more safety glasses. That's what I have. Oh no, my light's going. It's getting kind of low. Oh, there you go. It's pretty snug, but should have. I didn't have the phone on my one hand. I think it'll go in pretty easily. Let's see if I can just backhand this. Okay, I guess I got it. Alright, I gotta pause this. Alright, so the 19.8 ID millimeter O-ring didn't work. It was really difficult to try to even get it in there, so I'm going with the next lower size, and this one's a 17.8 millimeter ID. And these are all, by the way, 2.4 millimeter cross section diameter, which is still thicker than the one that it had. Actually, maybe this is better. At least it appears to be thicker. Should probably measure it. And this is what it looks like installed. I think this is gonna be it. Still thick enough to get some squish and seal around the board, but not so much that it'll be a problem. But I have to get back under the car. Let's find out. It's getting kind of dark, so gotta do it quick. All right, here goes. Still kind of tight. Oh, I should have lubricated the O-ring. Okay, maybe I'll try that. Yep, I need two hands. I'll try. Okay guys, it went in. It's kind of a bit of a struggle, but life tip, use lots of lubricant. I use the automatic transmission fluid, and then I just wheeled it left and right while pushing it in, and it finally went in. So lubricate the O-ring, lubricate the bore. Automatic transmission fluid is kind of runny, so if you want to, you could probably use something a little bit thicker so that way the lubricant stays on the O-ring. But this O-ring went in very snug. It didn't come out as easily as the previous one, so I'm pretty confident that at least if this was the source of the leak, that it's not going to leak anymore. So that takes care of all of this. I hope. I just gotta clean it, verify that it's not leaking anymore. If it is, at least it'll be one less source, and I can try to find out what the other leak is. I thought at first it was the output shaft, but that's very dry. This is the only thing that had, you know, transmission fluid around that housing, and of course, just because where it ran down, that seemed to be like the logical choice, unless I'm missing something, and then maybe it's behind this cross member. I don't know, but so far, I hope this is it, and it's not a crack in the transmission. But this is done. Just gotta put the plug back in, tighten up the bolt, and I should be good to go. I gotta fill up the fluid though. Got some loss. All right, on to the next adventure. Okay, so here's the update after driving for a couple of weeks. Let's see if I can focus. There's the sensor, and it's pretty much dry all around. Here's the crossbar. I cleaned it as best as I could last time, but there's no new oil. Used to be pretty much dripping with oil. So far it looks like this O-ring works. Like I said, it's been 3 weeks. Not just babying it, of course, you know, hitting red line a couple times. So far everything seems to be holding up. But if you do get a chance to buy the right O-ring, then I recommend you do that. Okay, that's it.